The cameras were rolling, the music was tight, and watchers could feel the air getting thicker as Jasmine finally emerged into the spotlight. Rumors of Polly's romantic relationships and secret affairs had been going around Atlanta for weeks, and Rasheeda Frost found herself in the middle of yet another storm. However, this time it was unrelated to Kirk's other scandals. It was about an unexpected encounter that will shake the Frost house to its core. As she spoke, Jasmine confidently and without hesitation spoke up to defend her name and put a stop to persistent falsehoods. Everyone turned to face Kirk. As he sat expressionless and almost silent, fans couldn't help but wonder if the man, who had been at the center of many controversies, was acting out of shock, guilt, or just another attempt to evade accountability. The message on Rasheeda's face was quite different. Her eyes flashed with disbelief, anger, and the fatigue of a woman who has heard too many scandals. The tension in the room grew unbearable. The temperature rose, and Jasmine's comments just made things worse. This was no longer just a joke. Such a discovery has the potential to entirely destroy a marriage. Jasmine's words cut through the tension like a razor. She spoke without faltering. Her comments were undeniable. This woman had made the decision that no one else would be permitted to tell her story. Why would I hide it if I was in something like that? I don't hide who I am, she remarked, looking directly at Rasheeda. Her words were followed by an almost unbearable silence. Never have I. The cameras roamed the room, capturing every wince, twitch, and side-eye. Everyone knows I put everything out there, so why would I suddenly start harboring secrets now? Rasheeda's expression was a storm, first astonished, then angry, and eventually worn out. Anyone who had followed her path over the years was acquainted with that look. It was the expression of a woman who had been humiliated in public more times than she could recall, and who was now once more ensnared in a scheme that she had not asked for. Then there was Kirk, who was usually ready with a smart quip or an apology to attempt to defuse the situation or deflect attention. But tonight he sat calmly, his lips pressed tightly together, his body language constrained, his folded arms and averted gaze shouting avoidance, which was immediately apparent to onlookers. Within minutes of the episode's airing, fans lit up social media. "Kirk, why are you so quiet?" One commenter commented, "His silence says it all," and another raised their voice. Some even posted memes showing Kirk sitting in a trial chair as a man unwilling to testify against himself. Rasheeda was at her breaking point. "All you'll do is sit here," she said, leaning toward him with a voice full of fury and despair. "You have nothing to say, and everything that comes after it drags my name through the mud once again." Not one. Her words cracked slightly at the end, showing the pain below the anger. Kirk shifted in his seat, but said nothing, shrugging slightly as if he believed that brushing it off would make it go away. But it didn't, and his silence added to the weight of Jasmine's accusations. The quiet was louder than a confession, according to fans, and Jasmine wasn't going to stop there. "Let's be honest," she leaned forward and gave the flames one more twist, her eyes blazing. "Someone put my name in this rumor. It wasn't just a coincidence. Yen Dandy was the individual who wanted to promote this." The room practically vibrated as she spoke, and Rasheeda's head sprang up, disbelief flashing across her face. Of all people, Yen Dandy. She had eaten meals, laughed, and cried with this woman, whom she trusted, and now Jasmine was portraying her as the puppeteer who pulls threads out of the shadows to distort stories and cause chaos. Jasmine said, "She sat with me. Her voice was harsh yet steady. I was on the point of self-doubt for a moment because she talked too much and made me feel like I belonged to something I didn't. Did I say things incorrectly? As I turned to go, I had this notion, but after reviewing it in my head, I realized that she was only attempting to make it seem that way." Rasheeda clenched her jaw, wanting to compose a story. "Have you heard this?" she said, raising her voice as she turned to face Kirk. "You'll just sit there and say, none of this matters, despite what's being said about me and us." Kirk hardly opened his mouth. He briefly glanced at Jasmine before collapsing to the ground. The guy who had tried to utilize charisma to avoid several controversies had nothing this time. Rasheeda slapped her hand on the armrest, and the room reverberated with a sharp snap. Not even a feeble defense, not even a denial. Viewers at home could feel her frustration as the cameras caught every second of her tenuous patience. Conscious of the effect of her remarks, leaned back in her chair and smiled, which further fueled the fires. All I'm trying to say is, why pretend if it was really happening? She knew that Kirk's silence was as harmful as any accusation she could make. If you're mature, then why act like it's some disgusting little secret? But don't add my name if it's not real. Rasheeda sent her a sharp look. As you sit there, pretend to be innocent. You knew what you were doing when you had those conversations. You let yourself get caught up in this situation, but Jasmine didn't back down. She tilted her head, calm yet defiant, saying, "No, I just defended myself. You're wrong if you think I wanted to be a part of this scheme. I refuse to allow anybody else to define who I am." There was a noticeable tension between the two women, so I might as well be honest since my name is already out there. Every remark, look, and pause was tinged with years of history, mistrust, and betrayal, and Kirk sat quietly in the middle of it all, fading even more into the background as if he was waiting for the storm to pass. Outside that chamber, whispers were growing louder, but the storm was not lessening. Fans, friends, and even cast members were putting together their own theories. Some individuals support Jasmine, claiming that her openness boosted her reputation. Many questioned if Yendi had actually planted plans to deflect attention from her own marital issues, while others thought she was trying to get attention by inciting controversy and ensuring her spot in the plot. Whatever your perspective, one thing was certain: the Frost marriage was being tested again in front of millions of people. This time, everyone could see the cracks in their foundation. Rasheeda's fury was pure and sincere, and her tolerance was obviously eroding. The tension in the episode didn't end there. Jasmine's boldness made sure there was no going back, and Kirk's silence was both irritating and damning. Like the darkness, everyone's thoughts were focused on Jasmine's comments on war. "Why hide it if it was happening?" she had said. Fans analyzed the comment for an endless amount of time. Rasheeda's response was caught on camera the entire time, and some regarded it as Jasmine's final attempt to quash the rumor, while others saw it as her defying the Frosts to accept the fact. Filled the audience with many questions as it told the story of a woman who, by the time the cameras cut away, had grown tired of defending her marriage and wasn't sure how much further she could fight. Why did Kirk remain silent? Was Jasmine stirring up trouble, or was she disclosing something real? Above all, could Rasheeda endure another round of lies, rumors, and unsolved problems? Was Jasmine dodging, or was Yendi genuinely controlling her? Beyond that room, Jasmine's remarks had far-reaching effects. As the video got more and more well-known, it became the subject of every conversation, both on and off-screen. On social media, hashtags, memes, and endless debates over Jasmine's real motivations and Kirk's choice to keep quiet erupted as viewers examined it like detectives, each confident they knew the truth. Rather than being a defensive move, many fans thought the quiet was proof that there was more to the story than anybody was admitting. The atmosphere at the Frost house was completely different, and Rasheeda could not let it go. When the cameras stopped recording, she turned to Kirk with the anger of a woman who had seen this pattern too many times. "You think staying silent makes you innocent?" she asked him in a low, sharp voice. "It just makes me seem stupid again?" Kirk wiped his face and let out a long breath, yet he spoke slowly and thoughtfully. "It simply becomes bigger once I start talking. It's preferable not to feed it at times." Rasheeda's eyes narrowed as her anger erupted. "No, the best thing is to protect your marriage," she responded. The argument continued beyond that, according to fans who believe they heard them at later events. When lies are said in front of you, the best thing is to deny them. You don't just sit there like you've been caught. Rasheeda reportedly confided in friends that she felt abandoned by her husband, that Kirk faded into the background, and that she had to fight alone every time her reputation was damaged. Oh no, divorce rumors started to surface again, and many people started to worry that Rasheeda could finally lose it over this dispute. In contrast, Jasmine seemed to be thriving in the chaos. Instead of running away or hiding, she was intensifying her efforts. "If it was happening, I wouldn't hide it. "That's not who I am." She repeated what she had said in front of Rasheeda at a gathering with a few other cast members. "If anything, I think some people out here are more worried about their own situation, so they want to use me as a events." This was a direct barb at Yendi, implying that she was blaming Jasmine for the problems in her marriage. She deflected attention in a way that made people question everything, and when word reached Yendi, the fire intensified because she refused to let her name be spoken without a response. "Look, Jasmine can say what she wants, but I don't put people's business out there," she shot back in a segment that resembled a confessional. "If she feels guilty, it's her fault. Don't bring up my marriage just because you want to avoid it." The back and forth caused fans to disagree over who was telling the truth, which led to an entirely new argument. By avoiding interviews, remarks, and direct eye contact, Kirk avoided the limelight. In his one public statement, he was evasive, adding, "Hey, know my truth, and that's all that matters." People will express their desires, but such comments just fueled the fire. Why not disclose the truth if he knew it? Why did he keep his wife in the dark while everyone else speculated? Rasheeda's answer was more clearer. On social media, she sent cryptic statements about self-respect, loyalty, and being tired of lies. Every phrase was immediately associated with Kirk by fans, who thought she was covertly disparaging her husband. "Silence is still an answer, and sometimes it's the worst one particular note said. Thousands of fans rushed the comment section, begging her to leave him, telling her that this was the beginning of the end, and telling her that she deserved better. If Rasheeda was considering leaving, though, it wasn't evident. She remained composed and presented herself on television as a strong entrepreneur who would not allow controversy to define her. But underneath that strength was a true vulnerability. Considerably more harm had been done by Jasmine's comments than most people realized. At the next group meeting, tensions escalated to a breaking point. Jasmine seemed indifferent, and Rasheeda avoided her. Kirk stayed in the middle, avoiding eye contact with either lady. There was a lot of excitement, and sparks took off right away. "You've got a lot to say." When I wasn't present, Rasheeda ultimately lost her anger with Jasmine across the room. "Why don't you tell me straight away?" Jasmine didn't hesitate. Her voice was harsh yet calm as she walked right up to them. "I've already done that. You just don't want to hear it." I was honest. If that were happening, I wouldn't hide anything. And if you think I'm the problem, maybe you should look a little closer to home. The audience gasped because of the extreme stress. Rasheeda's face tensed and her eyes burned. "You have no right to try to force this on me. You entered my marriage and life, and now you're acting like the victim." "No, ma'am. It doesn't work like this." But Jasmine was not going to give up. "I didn't join your union. Your marriage was in trouble even before my name was mentioned. What was already harmed is not my fault." Kirk shifted uneasily and murmured to himself. He remarked, "This is crazy, man," but his attempts to defuse the situation just made it worse. Rasheeda turned on him, her voice full of disbelief. "Oh, now that you have something to say, you want to speak up whenever it's convenient." Kirk is the focus of attention, and the room fell silent again. But he stopped talking again, shaking his head and refusing to elaborate, and the loop of accusations flying, emotions boiling, and Kirk withdrawing into silence made everyone even more doubtful. By the end of the evening, the Frost marriage seemed more unstable than before, and Jasmine's reputation was both called into question and validated as she left with a confident demeanor. Rasheeda found herself standing in the rubble of her husband's silence once more, while Yen Dandy, watching from the sidelines, was furious at being drawn into a catastrophe that she said wasn't hers. Her anger intensified with each passing second, as online admirers eloquently described. Even though Jasmine may have started the fire, Kirk's silence caused the house to burn down. The consequences of the encounter went beyond the incident. By the next morning, phones were ringing, group discussions were roaring, and everyone in the hip-hop and love circle had an opinion. Some friends called Rasheeda to check on her, some messaged Jasmine to provide support, and some secretly reached out to Kirk to inquire as to why he had said nothing when the whole situation shouted for explanation. Rasheeda could not bear the pressure. Not only was her marriage under scrutiny again, but the loyalty of her friends was now being questioned. "I can't keep doing this," she said as she looked through online comments while sitting at the kitchen table with her cousin and shaking her head. Her cousin leaned in to try to but you can't keep letting him pretend nothing is going on, sis. You've been burdened by this marriage, and he will ultimately have to fight for it too. I'm very embarrassed. Rasheeda's eyes welled up with tears, but she quickly wiped them away. Okay, I'm tired of people making fun of me like I'm a stupid. In the meantime, Jasmine was not slowing down, so he just sits there acting as though silence has settled everything. At another function, she was observed smiling and raising an eyebrow when someone inquired why she thought Kirk was silent, all the while drinking her drink with assurance. Maybe the response is silent. Maybe he doesn't question it because he knows it's true. Whether she intended it as reality or just shade, the group was taken aback by her implication-filled comments, which stoked the gossip mill even further. But Fuel Yandandi had had enough, and she called Bambi in a firm tone. I have my own life, my own marriage, and my own problems. She will not keep bringing me up in this catastrophe. Even Bambi admitted that Jasmine wasn't holding back in spite of her attempts to mediate, so why does she insist that I'm the one who makes up stories? Look, I think she just wants to say what she thinks, but honestly, the way she speaks makes you seem like the bad guy. I'm not going to stand by idly while someone tries to blame me for everything. Yendi was furious. If she keeps using my name, I'll have to examine her personally. Kirk tried to keep his cool back in the Frost house, but the walls were drawing nearer. Do you give a damn about how I look right now? Rasheeda asked him again, her pure emotions brimming. Kirk stroked his temples and exhaled deeply, saying, Do you care if people are saying that I'm in a troubled relationship and that I allow women to treat me disrespectfully on camera? Naturally, I'm worried, but I won't let myself become embroiled in every argument. Sometimes it's better to say nothing. Rasheeda smacked her fist against the counter, raising her voice. No, it's your silence that makes you seem guilty. If I don't say anything, it seems like I'm standing by a man who won't even defend himself. I've been through too much because of you, Kirk. Her voice broke in the middle of her sentence, and the pain of years of betrayal leaked out. Kirk remained silent, refusing to give her what she wanted. He shrugged and murmured, Let people speak. They will always do so, instead of offering a heartfelt apology. That evening, Rasheeda posted another odd message on social media. A woman has a limit to how much weight she can bear before putting it down. Fans soon deduced that it was about Kirk, and the comments section exploded with support. Get away from him, queen. You deserve better. Kirk's silence conveys a lot. As the days passed, more people were affected than just the Frosts. Rasheeda struggled to answer their questions as their kids realized how stressed they were. According to a close relative, the couple's child saw arguments and said, Why is everyone saying bad stuff about dad? The pain in Rasheeda's eyes when she heard that question told the story of a mother torn between confronting her truth and protecting her kids. Jasmine, meanwhile, leaned into the chaos. I'm not here to break anyone's marriage, she stated in a quiet, interview-style statement. Simply said, I won't be depicted as someone I'm not. If they want to drag me, I'll keep defending myself. Supporters were divided. Discussions centered on Kirk's quiet, with some praising her for her steadfastness and others accusing her of stirring up trouble to gain attention. Even those who didn't believe Jasmine began to wonder why he wouldn't just deny it as fans continued to tweet. Why not mention it if nothing happened? Producers made sure Jasmine and Yendi Frost were in the same room for the following filming event, since the Frost marriage became the most talked about issue of the season. Others conjectured that Kirk could have decided to remain silent since he didn't want to lie on TV. You have no right to pull me into your mess. When Yendi came, she approached Jasmine with a firm voice. The tension was intense and the air was thick with anticipation. Greetings, my own life, my own hubby. Don't mention my name, please. Oh, so now you're the victim. Funny how you're the one always in the middle of everybody's business, Jasmine remarked with a cynical smile. However, it's suddenly not your responsibility when it backfires. As the room erupted, Rasheeda, already enraged by her own hardships, leaped in. My marriage is not your scheme, therefore you two should quit talking about me. Tell your spouse to stop talking since Jasmine hasn't finished discussing us. Rasheeda froze, her chest rising and falling with heavy gasps as the words hung in the air like smoke following an explosion. Tell him to stop sitting there like he's guilty, because